All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for joining us tonight for our information about the 2025 Asian Pacific Children's Convention. My name is Yoshi Domoto. I'm the Executive Director of the Japan America Society of Georgia, and so thrilled to be hosting another year of the APCC program. And I'm here with three other partners who will be helping out with the recruiting and selection process. So, Deborah, you want to go next and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Deborah Owen, and I've been involved in this program since 2017 when my own son participated, and I've been the chaperone for several years. I'll be the chaperone again this year, so please feel free to ask me any questions you have regarding the chaperone process or even what it's like to be a parent.
Go for it, Haley or Jamie.
All right, you want me to go next? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley. I work with Yoshi at the Japan America Society, and I'm the education coordinator. So I will be, this is going to be my second year helping out with the interviews and the applications, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody's applications and meeting the kids.
Hi everyone, I'm Jamie. I have been involved with the APCC since 2016 when I went to Japan as a junior ambassador, and this past summer, so 2024, I was a peace ambassador, so still going strong.
And now you're in college, right? So from a 10 and 11-year-old to all the way to college. All right, well, without further ado, we'll get started with our brief presentation, and afterwards we'll have some time for Q&A if you have any specific questions about the program or about the application process. All right, so welcome again to our information session about the 2025 Asian Pacific Children's Convention. So what is the APCC? Like I said, it is the Asian Pacific Children's Convention in Fukuoka, Japan. Fukuoka is Atlanta's sister city in Japan, and we're actually celebrating the 20th anniversary of that sister city relationship this year. So extra special year this year. And it's an international exchange program for young children, and it's been happening since 1989. And our organization, Japan America Society, we've been involved since 2003.
So the APCC consists of two programs. The first one is the one that called the Bridge Summer Camp, which is what we're looking for applicants for right now. And this is where we send our 4 children from Atlanta to Fukuoka, Japan, and they are joined by children from 43 different countries. And that consists of an orientation in Marine House, a homestay, a school visit, and there's also a performance event. The Bridge Challenge trip is when children from Fukuoka go to other countries that are involved in the program. And there's a spring batch and a summer batch program. The really cool thing is that Atlanta was chosen this year to host 15 children from Fukuoka, and we are actively seeking host families for them at this time. So if you're interested in something like that, please reach out to us. I actually my family hosted a student in 2018, and she was lovely, and it was a really rewarding experience.
So like Yoshi said earlier, the Bridge Kids program is what we're going to be focusing on today. And it happens every year, and the Japan America Society of Georgia, we are the liaison office for this children's convention, mostly because we are Fukuoka's sister city. So it is a 1-week summer camp to start out, and then a 1-week homestay with a Japanese host family in the Fukuoka area. And there are more details that we'll talk about during this presentation, but you can also visit our website at any time to look up even more details, as well as some videos of previous ambassadors that have gone on the trip.
And if I could just add, if I could go back for a second, Yoshi, and just give a little color to this slide. On the in the bottom middle picture, you can see Jamie, who you just met in 2016 with her group when she was 11. On the upper left-hand corner, you can also see Jamie when she went back with us this past in 2024. Also on the bottom right corner, you'll see my son Will, kind of in the middle, the short one, and he is now in college, and he went back in 2023 on the upper right picture there. So great. All these kids are great. The last picture I didn't point out is also another group I chaperoned. So we've had a lot of fun.
And speaking of Jamie.
Hi again. So yeah, I guess this was touched on already, but for the summer camp part before, so you stay at like summer camp and then you have homestay. And so while you're at the summer camps, you're at this place called Marine House. And so this is where your children get to go basically meet with all these delegations, children from all around the world. It's an amazing experience. You do all these activities with people from everywhere, and you just get to meet so many people and learn so much about where they're from.
And then in between the Marine House camp, in the culture exchange camp and the host family session, the homestay session with the Japanese family, we actually have two kind of transition periods, and we'll be picked for either one. Our group has done both in the past. One is a CSR, or corporate social responsibility activity, in which we visit a Japanese company based in Fukuoka, and they also do a cultural activity at the company as well. So you can see in this picture, the group from Tonga, visited a company, and looks like they did a cooking event. And then also, if you don't do the company visit, you will visit a school separately from your child's host siblings, or host brother or host sister. The student will be going to school with them, but then separate from that, there's also another school visit to a public elementary school in Fukuoka as well.
Yeah, so after the day of school visit or CSR activity, we do meet our host families and go to about 5 or 6 day homestay program where the children attend school with their host friend and do activities with their host families. During this time, there is the performance event. And you can see here, I'm not really sure where this delegation is from, but it looks like it's possibly Vietnam or Thailand. I'm not really sure, but we all do a lovely performance, including the group from Atlanta, which is always interesting. But it's fun, and it's part of our training, and we tend to have a lot of fun with it. So more on that later.
So just to kind of break it down by numbers, we've already thrown out a few already, but at the Bridge Summer Camp, there's usually about around 35 participating countries. So like we said before, your child gets to meet kids from all over the world. There's 45 delegations, so some represent countries, others represent cities like Atlanta. For junior ambassadors total, there's about 260 10 and 11-year-olds, mostly 11-year-old children. And there's about 45 chaperones for all of those different groups, which include Deborah, and then other chaperones like Jamie as well.
And so to be selected as a JA, to be like 10 or 11-year-old child, so born between August 1st, 2013 and July 31st, 2014, and Atlanta is one of the countries that will select 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah, and just to give a little bit more color again on the photos, the boy on the left side, the very far left, he is still is an ICAG student who went with us last year, and he's also pictured in sort of the middle of that middle picture. Yeah.
And then on top of the junior ambassadors, of course, Deborah is our chaperone, and then Jamie last year was actually what we call a peace ambassador. So basically, a alum of the program. After I think 6 years after going as a junior ambassador, you're eligible to go back to Fukuoka as part of the program as a peace ambassador or a PA. So as long as you are active in promoting U.S.-Japan relations and kind of being involved in the community and what we call the Bridge Club, which is the alumni group, there might be an opportunity to go back to Japan 6 years after you go as a junior ambassador.
Okay, so right now we're going to go over the eligibility criteria for the application process. And the first point, and it's super strict, is that the child must be born between August 1st, 2013 and July 31st, 2014.
And then the junior ambassador, to be eligible, he or she must have to introduce aspects of their own culture as basically an ambassador of the U.S. in Georgia and Atlanta.
And they also should have what we call the challenging spirit and be able to both able and willing to participate in the summer camp activities and have a genuine interest in meeting people from other cultures and countries and be a part of that whole international exchange network.
Also, the child should be willing to try Japanese food, but also just food from other cultures in general, just to be adventurous in that way, because food is a really important part of culture. And of course, going to a totally different place, that is a huge way that you learn about culture.
Another very important aspect, or what we're looking for in the children, is to be fully aware of the APCC vision, continue to act with omoyari spirit as a global citizen, and contribute to the activities of the Atlanta Bridge Club, which is our alumni group, after participating and returning from the APCC Bridge Summer Camp. This is one thing that is super important to be aware of, that it's not like a one-time deal, and it's a continuing program, and we do have an alumni group that we look for active participants in.
And we ask all of the junior ambassadors applying to be of sound mind and body and be able to bear the stress of a 2-week stay in an unfamiliar country, right? So they will be traveling, obviously, to Japan, halfway across the world. And obviously, we will have training meetings and preparation meetings so that all of the students, part of the group, will, have a really close relationship. But at the same time, you will be away from, your family and friends. So we do ask all the children applying to be able to kind of manage kind of a little bit of a stressful situation, being away from parents. And then also junior ambassadors must be able to handle their daily activities. So, of course, getting dressed on themselves and, brushing your teeth and being able to kind of, live independently.
And another very important part is they must adhere to the rules that are set by the APCC. The first one being they are not allowed to leave the group or the camp or their homestay during the trip, and they cannot leave Fukuoka as well. They must always stay with their group and with their host families for the whole 2 weeks. They are also not allowed to take part in activities outside of those that are run by the APCC. So they are not allowed to go on their own day trips, for example, or go visit family or anything like that. This next one is a really big one. The APCC does not allow direct communication with the children, with family and friends back home during Bridge Summer Camp, both for camp and for homestay. That is not to say that you won't hear from your child for 2 weeks. Deborah is very good about sending updates. You'll be a part of Deborah's Facebook group usually that you do, right? Or a message group.
Yeah, I do a private Facebook group.
Yeah, and she uploads updates and videos throughout the day as to what the kids are doing. And the kids are very busy with their activities anyway, so they won't really have much time to, and they don't want the kids to be worried about, trying to video call back home. And the last one is, of course, very important as well. And this one I know personally, not from APCC, but staying with my own host family when I lived in Japan and when I did my study abroad when I was in college, but to adhere to the host family's rules and schedule during their stay. Very important that they are respectful of like meal times and bedtime, as well as what time they have to get up and get ready to go to school, which of course will be covered before they go and stay with their host family.
And then for parents and guardians, no, we certainly want you all to support your child as a junior ambassador. So definitely come out to all of the preparation meetings, training meetings, and do your part to really support your son or daughter in going to another country and help them get ready for a big adventure in Japan.
Well, this is an example of the Junior Ambassador application. So the first step would be the application. There is a PDF form as well as a Google form, which we provide a link to. I have to say we probably do prefer the Google form if you can. And so the links are on the JASG website, but I think they're also provided here in this presentation.
Yes, Deborah, to go off of what Deborah said, yes, we the PDFs are of course always an option, but we vastly prefer just to have everything in one place. We prefer the Google Doc application, which is linked in our website, and it's at the end of this presentation as well. The second part of their application, they must submit an essay no more than 2 pages, either handwritten or typed, on why your child, they would be a good junior ambassador and representative of both Georgia and Atlanta.
Jamie, you want this one?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, so step 3 is the child is going to have to submit a picture that represents the theme of APCC, which is "We are the bridge, we connect dreams around the world in the Omoyari spirit." When I applied to be a JA back in 2016, that's my picture right there on the bottom right. So yeah, it doesn't need to look like any of these 3 pictures, just something that represents that message.
And then the last part, step 4, is a letter of recommendation. So if your student can ask their teacher, their coach, we do ask that you get a reference or letter of recommendation from a non-family member to just write out, 1-page or 2-page recommendation about why, your son or daughter would make a great junior ambassador. And then we do ask those confidential, letters of recommendations to be emailed to the admin email right here, admin@jasgeorgia.org, as an attachment with the subject APCC recommendation for, and then the student's name.
This is a QR code that links you to the application materials, the instructions, the applications, testimonials, as well as information about our Bridge Club alumni group. So you can find all of the information there, and it is also on the JASG website, jasggeorgia.org, APCC. If you're simply on the JSG website, it's under education and then APCC, if you're not just typing this whole bit in. So all the information is there.
And then some key dates. So the deadline for all junior ambassador applications are coming up February 10th, which is a Monday. We extended a little bit. In the years past, it's always been on a Friday, but we wanted to give one extra weekend, especially with the snow that we had, for junior ambassadors to be able to work on their applications. So the application deadline this year is Monday, February 10th, 2025. And then we will have a finalist selection meeting, which our selection committee all meet and review all of the applications together, and then we will be selecting a group of finalists. Deborah, usually about 10 to 12, something like that, depending on the number of applications we get.
Depending on the number of applications we get, yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say then the finalist mixer will be on the 14th of, is the 14th a Friday though, Yoshi?
Oh no, this is the invitations.
Oh, the invitations,
mixer.
right. Yeah, the mixer's on the 2nd. I was sorry, that confused me. I think I do that every time. The Zoom interviews, though, will be scheduled ad hoc, so you'll see like an invitation come from me to schedule a Zoom interview after the invitations are sent to the finalists. Then on March 2nd, we'll have a finalist mixer and panel interviews, and then we'll decide on the finalists after that. After the finalists are selected and notified, we do have monthly-ish meetings. Sometimes they're a little bit more than that, for training as well as practicing our performance. And then finally, our departure date is usually, I think it's usually that Friday, July 11th, and the return is Tuesday, July 22nd.
And that's it for the quick overview about this year's APCC. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask over the chat box, or if you want to turn on your video, or just through the audio, feel free to ask any one of us questions. Remember, Deborah was both a parent and a chaperone, so she has some unique experiences. Jamie was both a junior ambassador and peace ambassador, so she can kind of talk about the student aspect of things, and I'll be happy to answer any kind of administrative questions that you may have. If we don't have any questions, maybe we were pretty clear, but yeah, we'll wait a few more minutes, so feel free to ask any questions you like.
You guys, thanks for doing this. I'm Jeff. I'm wondering if, I know we've spent most of the focus on the trip to Japan, but was interested in some more details around what's asked of host families for students that travel from Japan and need host families here.
Oh, well, you and I were just talking about that today. In terms of hosting here, it's actually not as big of a commitment as it is on the Japan end. I think, what are the dates, Yoshi? They arrive here on the
March 25th until March 31st, but when they arrive, they'll be staying one night at a hotel, and then their last night in Atlanta, they're actually at a hotel too. So it's actually the middle 4 nights, I believe, are the host family commitment of hosting that student.
So we're expecting the students to go to school with the children, with their host friend, for 2 days, and then on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have some group activities planned.
You match ages so that they're going to school with people that are the same age?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, yeah, age and gender too. So, so if you have a son, then we'll definitely place another boy from Japan that's similar in age. And I guess the biggest commitment that we ask of families, obviously, treating your host son or daughter, as they were, if they were your own children, and taking care of them, kind of sharing American culture, and then spending time with them. But the big issue might be getting approval from your child's school if they can have a visitor for those 2 days, that Thursday and Friday. So I know some school systems may be a little bit more strict than others, but in the past, we've been able to get support letters if you all need it. So, but yeah, so that's kind of basically a 4-night, I guess, homestay for host families, and kind of sharing American and Georgian culture with the students from Japan.
Yeah, and also, Yoshi, I've only seen one school deny it. Have you seen others? Like, I
think just one school.
One, yeah.
But that was, I think, a kind of a unique situation. But yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, we've seen most of the private and public schools be accepting of that.
Thank you.
Yep. And of course, if we will have 15 other host families, so if there's certain times or days in which you need some extra help, we'd be happy to kind of work with the other families to kind of be able to support, I guess, another family in time of need. So
that's right. And also, Yoshi, what is our deadline for like submitting the host family information on that?
I think it's February 18th. So yeah. So we're just a couple weeks away. So I know a lot of the families who actually have hosted, who have sent their child to Japan as part of the program will be hosting in. So this would be a good chance to meet some of those families as well. All right, if there are no other questions, Deborah or Jamie, any final words of wisdom or encouragement? Well, actually, we had a question come in the chat box. The question is, can you talk a little more about what characteristics the reviewers are looking for in applicants outside of what you've shared already? Leadership skills, situations, what are the characteristics of children who do well on this exchange?
Yeah, so the kids that normally do well are usually the very well-rounded children who are thoughtful. Some not necessarily the most outgoing, but somewhat outgoing, if that makes any sense. So it's hard to pinpoint. I've seen the gamut in terms of which children do great. I mean, they all do great, to be honest with you. They really all do great, and they're all going to have something that may not be perfect or may be perfect, but they're all the kids really do great. And I think that if you as a parent can let your child go, and your child feels like they could go and do it, I think you should apply. There's no decision to be made until after you've been selected. So go for it. It's such an amazing program.
Yeah, also adding on to that, I would say that we're not looking for one specific kind of child. I think really, like Deborah was saying, just a thoughtful child and someone that is curious. Mm-hmm. And that is, there isn't one characteristic or one activity that your child should be involved in. We really just want to know who they are and see that they can get along with other kids.
But they should be interested in Japan, in international exchange, wanting to make friends with kids from other countries, not just people, Japanese students that they meet, but there'll be as we all mentioned, 40 other countries and regions represented. So just that curiosity, as Jamie said, that want to make new friends with people from other backgrounds, and at the same time wanting to share your own culture and kind of your own kind of customs with kids around the world. So there's a lot of, I think, traits and characters can kind of go into it, but kind of that's the main thing. And but yeah, it's a wonderful application process, I think, and it really just applying I think gets students ready for kind of other types of programs like these, in which there's several steps in which you have to apply to be accepted, right? So
yeah, I'm also going to put another plug in for the Bridge Club, because it's super important that the kids are willing to participate when they return, right, Jamie?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And it's not like it's a problem to participate at all. It's not like it's a huge time commitment, and it's not like you become part of this program and then the APCC has to be your whole life, but it's something that we want the kids to take with them as they grow up, like I've done, really for a long time. And I am still in contact with so many of the people that I went to Japan with when I was a junior ambassador in 2016, and even when I went again this summer as a peace ambassador, One of the girls who Atlanta roomed with from Indonesia, she was also a peace ambassador, so I hadn't seen her in years, and that was amazing. Like, you make these beautiful friendships that are just unmatched. You can't have these kind of relationships with other programs.
That's right.
Well, yeah, unless there's other questions, we can close this session out. Deborah, Jamie, any last words of wisdom or encouragement? And hopefully all of you who are tuned in tonight will be applying, and certainly look forward to meeting all your sons and daughters, and hopefully we can share this wonderful opportunity with you all.
Yeah, just my last words really is I'm super passionate about this program, and it was truly life-changing, not just for my son, but also for me. I think it is just so important to get the kids out there and meeting these children from other countries, and it really is such a special program, and I encourage you all to apply.
All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, and look forward to seeing all the applications from all of your families. And certainly, if you have any questions or concerns, or just want to talk through anything, feel free to contact our office. Our information is on the website at jasgeorgia.org, or you can always call us at 404-842-1400. And then the email it was in part of our presentation at admin@jasgeorgia.org. So thank you again for joining us, and look forward to staying connected. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night.